it's honestly
Nah,
intimidating.
but my thing is, if you're not gonna confront it, then let it be what it is.
Like dudes. Just say you like dudes. Say you like hot dogs.
Hey, I'm still pro trans, but if I saw one in real life, I'd probably laugh in their face. I'm just saying.
You would probably laugh in
Also,
their
tell me who
face.
cares.
You see how you said probably?
Well, yeah, 'cause it's funny.
Because he's funny. But you just said probably, so you're probably not gonna do it because you're not really that confrontational.
Well,
You're not gonna tell somebody
probably
what they
more
are and
like
aren't.
95%. I mean, I would say
95% isn't
95%.
100, so that's still that 5% that you won't, which really you're really not, because you said
Very,
probably you're not gonna stand
very.
on 10 toes. So my thing is, you're not how I'm dressed. You're not gonna tell me, oh, you can't wear that sweater. Just because you tell me I can't wear my sweater, you're not gonna tell me to take it off.
I was literally debating him. I want to go back to
Yeah,
debating
come
him.
on, guys. Let her speak. Sorry.
Okay. So I was just saying, like, you thought it's like something mental. There's a criteria that you have to meet mentally to become trans. But like, I want to know what else there is to become trans. Like, how do you know you're trans?
Like this is real, like duh. They obviously want to express themselves in the opposite gender. Like what the fuck are we talking about right now?
I know, but like, what encompasses that? Like, how do you express yourself in the opposite gender? What criteria must be fulfilled to actually be identifying as
You're
trans?
asking rhetorical questions. This isn't a debate.
How's that
It's not
rhetorical question?
rhetorical questions. Hello.
That's a rhetorical question. How do women express
It's a
themselves?
literal question. That's a good
A
point.
rhetorical question is a question that
That was the
requires no answer.
definition
It's
of
an obvious
rhetorical there.
answer because I'm
Okay, and
asking
so
you.
what
It's
requires
not
a woman
obvious.
to
I'm
be a
asking you.
woman?
Yeah. What's a criteria
We're
for
talking
a
about
trans a
for
woman
trans people
to change into a woman?
to express themselves in a feminine manner. Clothes,
And what does that
speaking.
encompass? What does that
If you would
encompass?
shut up, clothes, speaking, the choice of music. Like there's mannerisms that go into it. There's like a lot that goes
I
into
mean,
wanting to be a
That's
girl.
racist.
Obviously, if you want to dress like a girl, you're gonna dress like a girl, right?
But how do you dress like a
okay.
girl?
You would typically choose stuff that women would wear. You would wear feminine attire. That's
Like what?
like
Clothing in a
what?
woman's eye will obviously
Jesus
be
Christ! Like skirts.
feminine.
Like what do you want me to say? Like
And so you believe
skirts,
that just wearing
blouses.
skirts, you're a woman now. If I'm a woman now, if I want to be a man, I just have to wear pants, trousers. I'm a man.
It's for part of the expression
As
of
long
wanting to
as
be
you call
one.
yourself,
It's
yeah.
part of expressing that way. Exactly.
But you believe it's purely social then?
Yes, I said it like 3 times. Yes.
Okay, Beb Master, you can ask a question.
Do we mean gender? I'm gonna put the word I'm about to say because I will get banned. Do we mean that? You know, S that word.
Yeah.
Do we mean that or gender? What context are we using?
Well, I believe they're both
Both.
very related.
But it's the same. What's the difference between them?
No, they're not. They're absolutely not the same thing. Gender
They
is a
are the same thing.
societal view. Gender is societal. No, no. I would like to. I would like to clarify. Gender is societal. The other one is biological.
But don't
Wrong.
you believe that
For me to exist.
yeah, doesn't don't you need the biology to then develop those social characteristics? Without biology, they wouldn't
Exactly.
have those
Well,
established social characteristics.
would you say that trans women who get all the correct surgeries and have their biological reproductive systems removed are not counting as women because there are women who are born without uteruses. You don't have to have
Yes.
a uterus to be a woman.
Yeah, but those are those are very niche. I'm trying to find the word. Those are outliers. They don't really count for the majority. So I don't think they really should
Well,
be.
mostly because those surgeries are extremely expensive and it is very hard for most people to get those surgeries.
Are you talking about when you're trans?
Yeah, to get surgeries to change your reproductive systems, to change your, you know, bits and bobs, it is extremely expensive, which is why the majority don't have those surgeries. And a lot of people do attempt to get those surgeries, but they need, you know, to go through. I believe you have to go through insurance, or you have to save the money yourself, and the insurance way doesn't typically work.
I just think
This
it's
girl is
morally wrong to do
PMOing. I'm
that.
switching sides. Uh,
How? Why is it? Why is it morally wrong?
Because I think it's just artificial. I think it's completely artificial. And when someone is experiencing confusion regarding their identity, I don't think the best way is to enable that behavior. I think the best way is to call them out and tell them the truth, the physical reality, and how, although their mind is telling them things, they shouldn't believe it because
So
they're
you think just
experiencing
because you tell them that they're gonna stop whatever they're doing?
stress.
Yeah, I
Well,
do agree with
When
that. But
when
also,
you
They
also,
should.
do you
they
is
should.
it? Could you prove to me? I don't know this. This is why I'm asking. Do you have any like factual basis that all people who are T have gender dysphoria, or is that the case,
no,
or is it not? I don't know.
that's honestly not true. But I really wish they actually seek sort of
So
diagnosis
it's not true,
because I
but that's
think
just your opinion.
I
no,
Yeah,
think
but
it's
I think
I
that
do
if
100%
they
think
true.
actually
All of them
reached
have
out
it.
for help,
I
it
do think
That's
a
there's
lot
not
of
also
T
like
people
factual.
get. I do think a lot of T people typically tend to get diagnosed with gender dysphoria, but the thing is with something like gender dysphoria, I'm pretty sure there is no cure for it. And correct me if I'm wrong, there is no cure for something like gender dysphoria. And to try and force someone to be something, to not be something that they want to be, when we have so many forms and abilities to get this help for these people so they can do what they want to do when we're living in a very evolved state of society. I think that trying to force people to not do those things is completely wrong.
But they
But I
suffer
think,
through it
but
though,
I have to tell you that you cannot cure
right?
a ton of mental illness. You cannot cure depression. You cannot cure
You
anxiety
can,
disorders.
you can.
You don't
It's
have
because
to
they're
cure
all
mental
made up.
illness. It's about prevention. It's about
You said
establishing
that they're made
boundaries
up,
and how
right?
you
Hold
deal
on.
with those feelings and thoughts.
I'm sorry, sorry,
But
Judge, can I have a moment? Somebody said that all mental illnesses obviously can't be cured. So or like that's like a social construct. That is mental illness a social construct?
No.
It's not
It's
even real.
established
it's
You
throughout
said
life.
mental
It's
illnesses
established
aren't
through
real.
hormones.
Some people are just crazy.
You cannot
mental
cure a
illnesses
Like
mental
aren't
dog.
illness.
real. They're
It's just
psychological
impossible. You
constructs.
cannot, unless it's like some form of
Actually,
like
that's
Yeah,
not
that's what
true.
I'm
You said
saying.
you
short
can't
form of
cure
like depression
depression.
or
You
anxiety.
said you can't cure depression. I would like to correct you. Not all forms of depression are permanent.
That's exactly what I just said. Right. There's
You
some
said
short
No,
that
forms.
you
There's short-term
you
forms
didn't.
of
No,
depression,
she
right?
said that. I heard her. I heard her. She
That's
said.
Yeah, she
exactly what I
literally
said.
said that.
actually directly said
Sorry, you
depression
guys
isn't
can't pay
cured.
attention.
Yeah, but just as I clarified just before you interrupted me, I clarified there's some short-term forms of depression or anxiety that are temporary and can be, like, I guess cured, you can say.
Yeah, but the forms of depression that you're talking about that are permanent, that they're often typically very severe cases. And correct me if I'm wrong, but I believe that they are very severe cases. The thing is with something like gender dysphoria, it's not giving you
That's not.
any serious issues. Correct?
What?
I mean,
With
correct me
gender
if I'm wrong on
dysphoria?
any of this.
What do you mean?
If
Serious issue?
I'm wrong about any of this, correct me, prove like bring me statistics and stuff.
You're
I
wrong
want to
about
be
it all.
proven wrong. Okay,
About
No, go
what?
ahead
I'm
and
trying
keep
to prove you
talking. That
wrong.
guy's just a chatter. Keep talking. Keep,
Trans people are
Um,
just kook.
I
and you're
just
just
well,
chopped.
obviously that's your opinion, but is there
Sure.
any side effects of gender dysphoria that affect a person's well-being other than them just wanting to transition? Is there any side effects that seriously affect either their mental health or their physical health?
Well, I can probably tell you they experience severe psychological distress because their physical reality doesn't align with what their mind is telling them. That's obviously going to cause them a lot of stress about the way they're perceived by others. They're
Okay,
going to suffer every day because they
What?
don't align with with what their mind is telling them as them being that gender they wish to be. They don't align with it physically, and it's very hard to alter those physical characteristics with tons of money, like you said. Insurance, go to the doctor, psychiatrist, psychologist. They're going to stress about that all their lives because they cannot, it's going to be very difficult to cope with the fact that they cannot they cannot change their gender. That's what I meant. They can't change their gender.
Is there a cure for gender dysphoria other than the person getting the gender affirming care that they need?
What do you mean?
If
There's
you
other
could
ways.
find a group of there being a
I'm
cure,
They need
I would
therapy.
like
do
to.
people
no,
who
it's
experience
not
gender
just
dysphoria after
well.
their transition,
What?
do people, do trans people experience gender dysphoria after their transition?
Why are you asking me?
Because that heavily comes into the topic of conversation. It's
Listen,
extremely important.
it's really
I'll
fascinating
do
because
some
in some
research on
it
this. I'll
the
find it out.
the thing is why I don't like the hormonal replacement therapy and all kinds of like that, because they don't of those feelings of anxiety and depression. They're very like I'd say it's a miracle for someone to automatically feel like a pure alleviation of their stress and anxiety once they consume this hormone, right? The reason why I think it's just like I think it's not a certain like way of like helping their feelings of dysphoria or whatever is because there's like I just don't know what happens in the brain once they consume those hormones. Like how does the stress alleviate? Like I don't know, right?
I have
So I
just
think
Because it's
researched it.
affirming.
I
They're
have just researched it just so I can clarify. Yes, some trans people may still experience dysphoria after gender affirming care for various reasons, but studies show gender affirming care significantly reduces gender dysphoria, improves mental health, and increases life satisfaction for the vast majority, with very low regret rates. Under 1%, remaining dysphoria can stem from complex factors like limited access to comprehensive care, societal stigma, or personal needs not fully met by current treatments, but the overall trend is positive for well-being.
honestly, I'd like to know the science behind that, what happens in the brain and how that works, right? So I don't support gender dysphoria. Just I don't support hormone replacement therapy just because it's not a certain like prevention, right? When we talk about like things
it's
that
not meant for
psychiatrists
prevention.
use to help with, yes, it is.
It,
You cannot cure. I really you cannot cure a mental illness in a lot of the cases.
so then it's not meant for
Unfortunately,
prevention. It's meant for
Um,
expression. And
I also just searched up about is there another cure other than gender affirming care, and apparently there is currently no cure for gender dysphoria other than gender affirming care. So gender
that's not a
affirming
cure.
care
That's just not a
is
cure. There's no
it
cure.
isn't it doesn't always cure it, but for some people it significantly reduces it and gives them a quality of life that is livable and lets them live their life in peace. And I think prioritizing someone's mental health over your personal opinions is absolutely always the way to go,
It
because these
said
people are
personal
getting the help they
opinions are
need.
transformed.
she
Do
said
you
it best.
understand?
These people are getting
Yep.
Do
the
you?
help that these
Why
these
do
people are
why
getting
should
the
they
There's
care
literally
about how you
medication
feel
that
about
gets used
them?
by psychiatrists daily for people with psychosis experiencing delusions around their identities. There's literally medication that alters the brain chemistry's hormones, stress and anxiety. This is
Just like the
scientific,
bang,
and this is proven to be
just
successful,
like
right?
any
And why
depressants.
would you undergo?
Antidepressants have the same thing. Antidepressants
Okay,
alter your
but
brain
hormone
chemistry.
replacement therapy is
So
not guaranteed to remove and alleviate those feelings of dysphoria, right? There's no science behind it. It's just them hopefully wishing they would change their body, hopefully thinking like they can
Okay,
change gender. Like how do you even know that you're the opposite gender if you've never even
did
been
you
it
listen
before?
to what I said? Did you listen to what I said?
Yeah, but I reject it. I completely
you
reject it. I
You
reject
don't
don't
it.
think
That's
that
not
believe
a
you should have
debate.
to
okay, do
deal
you
with those
This
believe
feelings.
isn't
what
a
I said
debate.
then?
That's your
Let me
opinion. That's
speak.
all
If
it
you're
That's
is.
not
in your
going to listen,
opinion.
if you're not going to listen to what I say, if you're not going to believe what I say, do
Ah, see,
Yeah, I'm
she
not going
kicked
to believe
her.
that
She
either.
kicked her. Yo, yo, you know, you suck
Listen,
at
I'm the
debating. I'm getting
person.
out of here. You suck. No.